My name is Patrick, Shoreline Yamaha from Brisbane. I'd like to just go through a good few things on the new Yamaha FX Jetfish, which is this model here. We either build this in a Yamaha Jetfish configuration or the Yamaha FX HO or HO Cruiser. And if you really want to go fast, we can even do the SVHO. This machine right here is the jet version of it. It's a 1.9 motor, and we just want to go through a good few things of how and what we do to these machines to make them the ultimate fishing package. And we'll start from the front and we'll work towards the back. So let's start off simply by the Garmin. So a great feature is the Garmin unit. Head unit we'd like to mount up on the left just for accessibility when you're underway, which really works well. This is an added feature over and above is the trawling rod holders. We've got mount up left and right. The beauty of this configuration is that it becomes a really good platform for the actual head unit, being the fish finder head unit. It mounts beautifully up onto it in a really great location. And a little feature there is a nice hole for the lanyard, which would clip on and then obviously onto your rod. So left and right works really effectively. We've got on this particular machine, we've added the nav lights, port and starboard lights with the all-round white light on the rear. The other added feature for long-range use is naturally you need more fuel to go to circumnavigate the islands or those long trips out to get the real big fish, is the added fuel cell that we do, which is in and inside of the hull itself. There's two different options that we offer with the Yamaha FX. It's either the drop-in tank that goes into the front storage compartment, which would drop in simply in the front here, or we do the concealed unit, which doesn't take any of your storage area at all. So that would be your standard filler cap, and then this would be your secondary reserve tank. So this would be 28 liters, and that would be your 70 liter OEM tank. So that works really well. And we close up here. There's something else we add to the bottom of the hull for real hull protection, where you can drive up beaches. Generally, it really is a good way of combating any damage to the underneath of the hull. If you're going to be doing that aggressive beaching or even just simply pulling up onto the beach, is the fiberglass wear strip, which is underneath this hull. That really works well for those impacts or coming up a beach. So then we'll move on to the tubbies. There we have a set of the XL tubbies. We have a vertical rod holder here for preparing your rod when you seat it on the ski out on the water. Another feature would then be the trawling rod holder. The beauty of this system, it's fully adjustable and then as well as removable. Then we'll move on to the tackle box area. There you've got your tackle box compartment, which you can put your lures through to your kit, being your pliers, side cutters and so on. This is a really nice cutaway where it's a cup holder, a little working area, cutting board, opens up quick smart. As you see, there's a cutting board there, rubberized for some traction. And then there's a spring lock that holds the lid open, which is really a great feature. So it's not going to close on you out on the water. Nice little slam lock. So that's the tubby. And the beauty of the tubby is really is the stability, for one, that it gives you. It just gives you this incredible stability and sense of protection when you seated on the ski out on the water. Just gives you that nice sense of stability and not affecting any of your performance when you're out on the water, being your turn-in ability on the machine or your straight line speed. It's not going to affect that in any way because it's risen out of the water when you're underway. But then when you come to a standstill, it will then rest nicely and give you this stability that you need when you're stationary or you load it up in the case of this machine, there's a lot of added weight. Obviously tubbies, by the time you put your tackle, your gear and so on, and then this machine has then got the rec deck on the rear, which loads it up quite a bit more on the rear end. So this will just give you that positive buoyancy. And then this being the Jetfish configuration, we've then taken the rec deck, being the added platform on the rear here, we've modified it to go in between the left and right tubby. And then you've got the big esky box. You know, whether you choose to take that out on the water or not, it's purely up to you, but fully removable, and then you'll just be left with the rec deck. With the rec deck, obviously it has the boarding step, which retracts from the rec deck assembly. So that will allow you to climb on and off the machine in deep water. As you see, there's your rear white light. On the Yamaha FX, we do a really nice dual battery system. The idea of the dual battery is, for one, second battery is always good to have as a backup in case the main start battery fails. And then being that you've got all the electronics on it, there's a certain amount of power draw, which by having two batteries, it's always going to maintain a good level of voltage in your system to always be able to start the ski, especially if you start stopping a lot out on the water. And that's down inside the rear compartment. You have two batteries with a four-way switch. It really works effectively and very well. If I move along, we then obviously we need to power up the electronics, being the nav lights. We have these really remarkable, ingenious little switches that illuminate when you switch on and off. So that's something really that works well for your electronics, to be able to power it up and obviously power down. Here we come around to the rear of the Yamaha FX. This being having the rec deck. As you can clearly see how it's been narrowed down to allow the tubbies then to fit on with the rec deck in between. So it's quite simple of just cutting it down, narrowing it up to allow it to go on. And then you can clearly see then the boarding step. From the boarding step, we obviously mount up the transducer. You can either go on the left side or the right side. Most of the time we normally go on the left side with a really nice stainless steel bracket that mounts up, and then the transducer cable runs up through to the head unit. And then another real nice feature about the tubby concept is the stainless steel frames, which houses a live bait well on the right hand side of the ski, and that's live bait's controlled by this bore valve for water flow taken from the jet pump. So fresh water is taken up into the live bait well, that spills out of these holes, and if you did want to drain out quickly, just simply by removing that little drain plug. Quick, easy, and removable by simply removing the red cap. There's an internal nut. You can take the whole live bait well out and clean it, which is very important after saltwater use. And then on the left side is a safety bottle, and ultimately you'd keep your rescue gear in there, being your flares, V-sheet, perhaps some drinking water, and very accessible if there was in case of an emergency, with a nice grab handle. Not only is a grab handle good for flotation on the water, if it was a means of as a flotation device, but as well as even accessing on and off the ski, or manipulating the ski around the garage. It's a nice handle to grab onto, and very easily removed by just simply, and out it comes. So, and then on these stainless steel frames, let's not forget, you've got the vertical rod holders on both sides, and the idea of that is to transport your rods nicely out of harm's way, out of a lot of splash of water, and then very easily grabbed when you're out on the water. So that works a treat. So in a nutshell, that's the machine. This machine is on a really nice trailer, being galvanized, got the roller banks on, and then your alloys just to top it off. So yeah, that's what I got for you guys today, and hopefully it will be a dream machine for some of us.